Number 2 is not the goal. Number 1, lock and load. Hall of Fame, rock and roll. Call my name, Hoffa. Goals.
Did it make you paranoid?
No, I was never paranoid. I never had armed security. Never, even afterwards when I recovered. I have armed security now.
Yes.
After the billionaires bribed me with $10 million to drop out of the mayoral race, and I said no.
So you was more afraid of the billionaires than you were the Gambinos?
Well, it wasn't the billionaires who sent somebody to whack me and threaten my wife. It's people who are emotionally disturbed, who are getting into this frenzy of hysteria. And then threatening my wife first, who never hurt anybody. She rescues animals. This is her whole life.
Right.
They threaten her, they threaten me, and now you see, I have armed former NYPD police officers. I would not expect take the NYPD intel. Are you kidding? I would say to Zoran Mandami, everything you're discussing in that SUV, Eric Adams is listening to. Are you kidding? These are his boys. Handpicked. I'm street smart. No. You think those cops are not going to be reporting every conversation that I have in that SUV? Whether it's personal or professional? That's why they're there. That's why they're part of that intel.
So you brought up the 10 million. You see Eric Adams drop out. Do you think that he took some money?
Man, remember Bob Barker? The
Price is right.
He waited till the price was right. I think, based on people offering me money, he probably got double that and more. And he waited. Remember, he waited. And he kept saying, well, I might drop out any moment. It's like, man, I said, boy, this guy is like Monty Hall, let's make a deal. He wasn't happy with door number 1, door number 2, and then finally he picked door number 3. And then he was one and done. Wow. This guy was so corrupt. I'm telling you, when Eric Adams dies, and he has his way, because he's going to die from greed, they're going to have to find a Black & Decker power drill to drill him into the ground in a cemetery. You won't even be able to close the casket. My God, the corruption. Phil Banks, unindicted co-conspirator, he makes deputy mayor of public safety. Timothy Pearson, who was in charge of contracts, he went to the academy with him, lifelong friend in the police department. And he says at the end, where are my crumbs? Which is like Joe Percoco for Andrew Cuomo. That was his leg breaker, his wartime consigliere who said, hey, where's the ziti? A box of ziti was $1,000. 25 boxes, $25,000. It's all corrupt. Politics is the dirtiest business there is.
So how will you reform it?
This is the business that we have chosen. So I got to be like the tidy bowl man. I got to give politics a colonic.
How are you going to do that if
you
don't trust law enforcement?
Well,
and you don't
not
trust
all law enforcement.
Other politicians.
Right.
Trump isn't necessarily standing with you. How are you going to do it?
Well, because if they can't buy you, they can't trade you, you're not for sale, you're not for lease. First thing I do, I get elected mayor, big sign on City Hall. City Hall not for sale. Lobbyists, stay the hell out of here. I will kick your ass out of here because they come in offering bags of money. And there are a lot of good men and women who become officials. They get elected with the best of intention.
Yeah.
But then their colleagues say, yeah, but you're going to have to face re-election. And they may challenge you in a primary. And you're going to need the lobbyist money. Because once you have a war chest of money, nobody's going to challenge you. So you sell out your principles. Not all of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Because I remember them when they were first coming up and they were exuberant. They really wanted to help the people. They were selfless servants. And then they became self-serving servants. Look how many men and women in Congress and the Senate, Democrats and Republicans, they go in there, they don't have 2 nickels to rub together. By the time they're either out or they retire, they're millionaires like Nancy Pelosi and some Republicans because they benefit from insider trading information. It's all about putting your beak in the trough. But if you set the example at the top, then you can enforce it. And I would have a Department of Investigation. I don't pick the commissioner. Why would you let the mayor pick the commissioner of the person who's supposed to investigate government for corruption. If there's somebody who contributed to me or my friend, you think they're going to investigate me?
Exactly.
They have to be independent and autonomous because, hey, what makes you think that you can trust Curtis Sliwa every day, every week, every month? Might I succumb? Might I get weak? Might I start lying to cover up for things that maybe some of my staff members are doing that are friends of mine? I don't want to see them jammed up. That's why you need a Department of Investigation, independent, autonomous, that has freedom to investigate everything, including your belly button length. And watch. People won't be putting their beak in the trough and picking your pockets. Because right now we have a city, especially under ERIC ADAMS, hopelessly corrupt. He should have been in jail with Gold Bar Bobby Menendez. Now, I don't know who would have been the Maytag, but he should have been.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, and George Santos.
Come on.
Oh, George Santos, too. Now, we know he would have been the Maytag. There's no doubt about that. I mean, all three of these guys are crooks.
Right.
Why did they get sprung? And then if you do a $5 stick-up in an ATM machine, they jam you up, you're doing 5 years. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do time for that. But these guys are stealing millions. And then it's just like organized crime. You don't think all these guys who were indicted weren't kicking up to Adams? Weren't kicking up to Bobby Menendez? Now, George Santos, that's a different story. He was basically corrupt from the tip of his nose to the tip of his toes. But you got to set an example. When these guys steal from us, the taxpayers, and then they get turned loose into the streets, other politicians figure like, hey, I got it too. No, you got to be harder on your leaders than the people in the streets because you got to set the example. Now, you see, you ain't going to hear that from any other politicians. They protect their own tribe. Republicans protect Republicans. Democrats protect Democrats. I know. No. You're corrupt. You're going to jail. We're going to jack you up and we're going to put you on a pedestal, and through transparency, you're going to see how corrupt he or she is and how they took care of all their homeboys, homegirls, sycophants, toadies, lackeys at taxpayers' expense. That's why people are not voting. They think all politicians are crooks. People come up to me. We love you, Curtis, but you're a politician now. Well, what does that mean? Well, you kiss babies and shake hands, right? Of course.
Yeah, they don't know if they can trust you.
They think I'm crooked. A preponderance of them who always loved me. Well, you're a politician now. You're just like all of them. I said, you really think all politicians are crooks? Yes. I said, I know a lot of politicians. The mother of my 2 youngest sons, Melinda Katz, is the Queens District Attorney, Democrat. I said, look, I was with her for 13 years. I met all kinds of officials, mostly Democrat, because it's a Democrat city. Not all of them are corrupt, but a lot of them are. But see, right away you think because now I'm running for office, I'm corrupt. Of course, you're all corrupt. That's the biggest thing we have to overcome because that leads to all this apathy and indifference. And then the elected officials can get over on everybody because you leave them alone. Nobody shines the light on them. Everybody assumes, well, that's the way it is. No, it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way.
So why you think that so many people from the Republican side is now going to Cuomo?
Because they're like Rodney Dangerfield, the comedian, remember?
Yeah.
No respect. They have no self-respect. They don't think they can win elections. I'm like Braveheart.
This Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.